How we doing, guys? It's the weekly update from my good self. Hope you're all well. Yeah, oops, a daisy. Better watch where I'm going. Aye, nothing's changed, guys. You've kind of, you know the score with the channel. Things are moving on. I will be in my new house in 3 weeks today, actually, the 3rd of August. So it's not going to be long. It kind of feels like things are, it feels like I'm living my life in kind of slow motion just now, you know, or pause mode, as I've said before. But getting the keys in 3 weeks, and looking forward to getting into my own house and getting things set up and basically getting on with the rest of my life. So yeah, I've been pretty busy, just doing different bits and pieces. Work's particularly busy at the moment, thankfully. It was quiet for quite a while, but we're gradually getting more and more put on us, which is good. So yeah, that's absolutely fine. What am I doing this weekend? I've got a mate who's across from Australia. I've got a mate who's across from Seattle. I'm meeting him tonight. We're going out for a run and we're going to have a few beers as well. Looking forward to that. Saturday, got nothing really planned, and Sunday I might actually take a trip to IKEA to see if I can, you know, I'm not going to be buying anything at the moment, but just want to kind of see what's available. I need to get myself a bed and a few bits and pieces, and I want to see if I can find something that I can use to kind of store all my sort of consoles. So yeah, channel wise, guys, I mean, there's not a lot happening. We did, my mate Neil, who was across from Australia, we did do that kind of impromptu live stream. Was it last week? I think it was, which was good fun. Really good to get to meet Neil. But yeah, like I says, all my stuff, all my gaming stuff is in storage just now, so you know, I can't even begin to think about making content at the moment. I mean, I've got my computer, so technically I could make videos, but I've just got other stuff going on just now. I don't actually have any joystick to play any games. I mean, I suppose one video I could put out would be one of the, well, I could technically do a Friday waffle, but you know what, I've not got anything to talk about, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just waiting until I get into my new place and get my games room sorted, and I can start getting content put out again. I'm quite surprised to notice that my channel hasn't taken a dip. I mean, I think I've picked up a few subscribers, but it seems to kind of go up and down. But you know, I'm surprised that I've not lost any. Well, I probably have, but then you tend to kind of gain some as well. So, but yeah, listen, thanks for sticking with me. You know, I've not done anything for 2 months, and lots of channels. I wouldn't be surprised, or I wouldn't blame anybody for unsubscribing, because they'll be thinking, well, he's not doing anything at the moment. But hopefully these little periodic updates, you know, reassures you that I'm not going anywhere. The channel isn't dead at all. You know, it's just in a state of hiatus at the moment because of my sort of personal circumstances. But I'm really looking forward to getting back into it. I'll need to get my head kind of into a right place, because when you've not been recording anything for 2 months, I wouldn't say you lose it. I mean, I think making videos is a bit like going on a bike. Once you've learned how to do it, I think it's you don't forget. But the thought of doing a live stream on my own kind of fills me with a bit of dread, because it's at the best of times it can be quite awkward. I mean, you've just got to, this guy also doesn't realise it's a 70 and he's doing about 90 miles an hour, dickhead. Yeah, when you're doing a live stream, it can be a wee bit intimidating, because obviously it's just you on your own. Yeah, there's people talking to you through chat, but ultimately the only sound you hear is the sound of your own voice, and it can be a wee bit scary. So I'll need to kind of break myself in gently with the live streams. But no, I'm looking forward to getting into my own place, getting my life back on track, getting my games room set up. As I've mentioned already, I've got myself a nice big chunky CRT which is going to go in the games room. I'm going to have my 42-inch plasma, which is going to go in the games room. That's going to be my the TV for you know, any HDMI thing. I'm never going to have a games room like I had before. I mean, the games room I had, it was great, but you know what, it kind of became a bit of a noose round my neck. There was so much stuff in it, it was impossible to clean. It had so many wires and cables, and you know, it was always going to be, I was always terrified that something was going to, you know, was going to stop working, and trying to fix it when you've got so many billions and billions of cables would have been an absolute nightmare. So the fact that I've not got it set up like that now means I won't go back to that. What I'm planning to do, what I'm hoping to do, I was kind of thinking, you know, should I get a kind of desk for like the Amiga Commodore 64, but you know what, I think that's a bit overkill. I don't think I'm ever going to be sitting at a desk playing the Amiga. What I'm intending to do, I mean, the CRT TV that I've got, I believe it's got 2 HDMI sockets. So what I'll probably do is I might have an adapter and have the Amiga and the Commodore 64 both plugged into one socket and have them permanently in use, because these were always the machines that I love to play. These are the ones that I like to be able to noodle with as and when. So I'll probably have them set up all the time. And then the second the second SCART socket, what I'm hoping to do is maybe for a couple of weeks have a system plugged in, you know, Sega Saturn, and just play the Sega Saturn for a few weeks, make some videos, just enjoy it, and then once I'm kind of, I wouldn't say I'm bored of it, but after a couple of weeks, set up something else, you know, just rotate it. So that's my plans. I'm also going to, I was actually thinking, about looking to pick up a real arcade machine, you know, whether it was a Robotron, Berserk or Galaxian. Now, I was thinking about what one would I play the most. Now, if you watch my channel regularly, you'll know that I'm a massive Berserk fan. Love Robotron as well. But the machine that I thought about, I thought that would be the one that I would probably like to have the most, would be Galaxian. Now you'll be thinking, why Galaxian when it's not one of your favourite arcade games? Well, it is. I love Galaxian to bits. I think just the type of game it is, it's stupidly difficult. You know, it's really, really difficult game to play, and it's a game that conjures up the most fond memories. I mean, I don't have any real memories. I don't have any memories of playing Robotron or Berserk as a kid, because I didn't have any arcades. So I'd never, until MAME came along, I'd never played Robotron, I'd never played Berserk. I tell a lie, I did play Berserk once back in 1982 when I was in America with my mum and dad, but I don't have any nostalgia for these two games. Like I says, I only really got into playing these games, certainly Robotron, I'd never played that at all until MAME came along, and then eventually got sort of twin joysticks, or it was initially the twin analog stick controller. So I don't have any nostalgia, but the one machine that really brings back nostalgia for me as a kid is Galaxian. So I thought, yeah, I'll try and buy one. So I've got a lot of mates that know tons about arcade machines, none other than Mr. Tony Temple. I mean, he has got, what he doesn't know about arcade games probably isn't worth knowing. If you've not checked out his arcade blog, go and check it out. He's got an amazing blog. He has these really interesting articles. I don't know how he manages to get a hold of them, but he's got a cracking site, and it's all about classic, you know, vintage arcade machines. So I was asking Tony, I was asking a few other guys, you know, a bit of advice. What's the best thing to do if I want to pick up an original arcade machine? And what they've all said to me was, and I totally get it, was unless you're prepared to spend a lot of money on getting the machine. I mean, apparently these three machines are difficult to get a hold of. They're quite rare now. Which, when you think of how many Galaxian machines must have been in circulation, it's quite surprising. But then you've got to remember, it was 30 years ago, 35 years ago. So basically what Tony said was, look, these machines are going to cost you a lot of money. Yeah, so basically what the guys have said, that unless you've you know, you've got deep pockets to try and buy one of these machines, you know, which are all hard to get hold of, and also you're very, very handy with soldering irons and what have you, which I'm absolutely not, because you need to remember the actual age of these machines. They're, you know, 35, almost 40 years old. They were never ever designed to be working after this time. These machines were like fruit machines. They were put in to make money. They were never designed to last 40 odd years. So if you do buy an original arcade machine, you've got to be willing to constantly maintain it, fix it. That's part and parcel of owning a real arcade game. Now, I don't have that kind of knowledge, patience, or indeed money. Apparently you're looking about £1,000, I think, for a Galaxian cab. So I'm not going to go down that road, unfortunately. But what Tony also said to me was, as much as it sounds ace, you know, owning a real arcade game, how much are you really going to want to play the same game over and over and over again? So you've got to remember, you know, if you spend £1,000 on an original arcade game, you're going to get buyer's remorse when you see that machine sitting in your living room, whatever it is, not getting used. You're going to be thinking, you know what, crap, I could make use of this money on something else. So what Tony and all the guys have said to me was, the best thing to do is get a machine and stick either RetroPie or stick MAME in it. Now I've got my bar top, so I don't see any point in building a new one. What I'm hoping to do, I'll need to see what I can buy at IKEA. So I'll just move that up a wee bit. What I'm hoping to do is see if there's some kind of unit or stand or something that I can put my barcade, my bar top on. And what I'm hoping to maybe do is put it in my dining room. At the end of the day, it's my house, it's a lad's house, so I can have the house exactly as I want. So that's the plan. Stick the bar top either downstairs. It might go in my games room. It just depends. It's going to depend on how much space I've got. So yeah, that's the house. Get my keys in 3 weeks. Looking forward to it. I've got a fair bit of furniture coming out our own house. In fact, quite a lot actually. But I'm going to hire a van in 3 weeks, and a couple of my mates are going to help me move. So looking forward to getting in. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did get an email from the guys who are designing the Spectrum Next. Now I do know that originally they were talking, or they were hoping to have this out by, I think it was May this year. Well, obviously we're now in July, so it's kind of overran. And a few people have been, you know, making comments about, you know, is it going to go, is the Spectrum Next going to go the same way as the Vega 2, Spectrum Vega 2, i.e. you're not going to ever see it? Well, I think it's fair to say that that is not going to happen. The guys behind the Next, they do put out regular updates, and it's not just, you know, a little update. They go into a lot of detail about where they are in the production of the keyboard, the manual, the box, you name it, they'll give you information. The latest update was showing what do you call it, pictures, photographs of the 4,000 PCBs, or the motherboards that they've bought, and apparently they've also got something like 4,000 SD cards to get the software put on as well. Got to say, I'm looking forward to seeing the Spectrum Next. It's going to be good. It's going to be the first new computer that I've owned for a long time. I mean, home computers aren't really a thing nowadays. You know, I think the last home computer that was released that I bought was probably the Amiga. Yeah, you know, I don't count a PC. It's been a, you know, a home computer. It is a home computer, but what I mean is a dedicated home computer like the Dragon 32, the Spectrum, the Commodore 64, the Commodore Amiga, and the Spectrum Next. It is a brand new computer. Yep, it's going to be 100% compatible with all Spectrum software, which is great. But from what I've kind of been, you know, looking at, there's a real good homebrew community built up, you know, around the machine. So I think there's going to be a lot of new software coming out, and I am looking forward to getting it. So anyway, listen, I think I have probably waffled on quite enough. Again, like a broken record. All I can really say, guys, is thank you very much to everybody that is continuing to support the channel, to post comments. I do humbly apologise about not replying to any comments. I've always kind of prided myself from the fact that I always do reply to all comments. I always have, but just with these last couple of months, I've just simply not had the opportunity to do that. But I promise you, I do read all the comments that you guys are posting. I will attempt, once I'm kind of back online properly, I will attempt to get to look at all the comments and try and reply to them where at all possible. But it is only a temporary blip. Once I'm back online, I said I'll get back into it. Once I start putting out new videos, I will be replying to all the comments as per usual. Monetization, yeah, bloody hell, I'm making a fortune. I think I checked yesterday, and I think I have accrued the princely sum of about $4. So that gives you an idea of just how little money you actually make. And in fact, I don't mind saying this, and I've said it before, I'm going to give it a couple of months. Once I kind of get back to making videos proper, I'm going to see what kind of income I'm getting. But like I said, since I've gone live with the monetization, I don't know how long it's been, maybe about a month, maybe not even as much as that, I've made $4. So you can do your own maths. I'm not going to be able to go full time anytime soon. If it's shit, if the money that I'm making is going to be about $5 a month, and it's possible to unmonetize, then I may well do that, because I don't want the restrictions of having a monetized channel when all I'm going to get back is about $5 a month. That's just a waste of time. I know a few people have still been saying to me about, why don't you think about Patreon? And yet I think, you know, if you plan to make any money on YouTube, I think Patreon is the way to go. But as I've always maintained, you know, I do this as a hobby, and I would not feel comfortable taking money for doing what I do as a hobby. I do appreciate the fact that some people would gladly, you know, send over a few quid a month for the channel. I do appreciate that, but it's not really what I am. I don't have anything against Patreon. I mean, there's quite a few guys that I watch their channel. They've been doing Patreon for a while, and you know, fair play to them. At the end of the day, you know, I make content completely free. I don't expect anything back in return. Getting the comments and the feedback is payment enough for me. But you know, like I said, I don't have anything against anybody who makes content who would like to give people the option to give them some money. You know, nothing wrong with that at all. It's just not me. I don't feel comfortable. I wouldn't feel comfortable about taking money for making content. And that's why, you know, I don't see myself ever going down the Patreon route. As I've always said, if anybody really wants to give me money, by all means give it to me, but I promise every single penny that I get, I will give to charity. You know, that's the way I look at my channel. So anyway, right, I'm going to get going. Yeah, what I'm planning to do actually is probably well, I actually move into my house in 3 weeks, but I reckon maybe next week I'll be getting in touch with Virgin and asking them how long it takes to get broadband put in, because I need broadband to do my job. I need to be able to go online for my work. So it might, I'm hoping that'll be in there or thereabouts shortly after I move into the house. We'll just need to wait and see. Obviously I'll not really be able to do very much. Well, I can. I'm saying I can. I'm sitting making a video just now using the phone, so I could go down that route. One thing that I treated myself to recently is a GoPro 6. Now, excuse me, it does record 1080p, and it also does 4K. But I think to upload in 4K, the video would be massive, so I'm not even going to attempt to go down that route. I have given it a go, and to be fair, the one thing that I was concerned about was the sound. I mean, it's got a built-in microphone, and I made like I did a 10-second test video. I've got to say, I was actually quite impressed. I mean, the quality is fantastic, and even the sound wasn't too bad. So once I'm back making, you know, what do you call it? Once I'm back making videos properly, like with the waffle, the Friday waffle, I'm going to try the GoPro. I think it will give me better results than using this phone that I've been doing for the last couple of years. So anyway guys, listen, I'm going to get going. Have an ace weekend. Thanks as always to everybody that continues to support the channel, who continues to watch my videos, to post comments, and I do look forward to getting back behind the camera properly and getting more of my stuff put out. So it just remains for me to say, guys, thank you very much for watching. Take care.